With a variety of historical connections, the Sage Inn was built during a key time in Kansas history. This inn in Dover, Kansas, has provided hospitality to guests and travelers for more than 100 years.
That's one of the claims to fame.
Ken Benjamin and his wife Joan run the 1878 Sage Inn Bed and Breakfast. The inn began as a stagecoach station.
People today get upset when they miss a flight and they have to wait 2 hours for the next one. Back in those days, you miss the stagecoach, you might have to wait 2 weeks. Of course, that was good for the Sage Inn business.
Originally from England, the Sages came to Kansas in 1856. They founded the town, naming it after Dover, England. The Sage Inn, owned by Alfred Sage, was built by Alfred and his brother Mark. Ken says the inn was built at a prime location along the Southwest Trail.
The Southwest Trail, which is now K4 Highway, was a connector trail. It connected the Oregon Trail in East Topeka to the Santa Fe Trail at Council Grove.
The inn has 3 front doors. The door on the far right enters the original part of the inn, built in 1865. The next 2 doors enters the addition to the inn, built in 1878. The doors lead into what was the stagecoach office and a public eatery. Inside, the Sage Inn still has its original wood floors and ceiling adornments. Alfred Sage made them as a wedding present for his second wife. So impressed with the construction of the inn, those working on the Capitol building called on Mark Sage.
He was such a premier stonemason that he was invited to do the stonework on what is now the East Wing.
The inn hosted a few famous people, including General Custer. He was a friend of the Sages. The Sages were abolitionists. Though not documented, Ken says it was likely the property had a connection to the Underground Railroad.
It was close to a creek and had an underground chamber at one time and back. It was probably, and because the Sages were very, very strong and supportive of the movement.
The era of the Sage Inn as a stagecoach station came to an end when the railroad chose to go through Harveyville. As the Limestone Inn hosted travelers for more than 100 years, Ken hopes it will continue for 100 more. You might have noticed the chimneys on the roof of the inn, but they weren't for fireplaces originally, they were for stoves. As Alfred Sage was deathly afraid of fire, a family he was close to with 5 children died in a house fire started by a spark from a fireplace. For more information about the 1878 Sage Inn Bed and Breakfast, you may call 785-256-6050.